Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Maverick Excelsior tutorial. Today, we're diving into the new GLB import features. Here are a few examples of what we'll be working with. GLB files are super popular in jewelry design, especially for the web, and if you've got models exported from other software, you can now drop them straight into Excelsior. All right. Let's see how it works. I've got my GLB files right here, and I'll just drag and drop them straight into the viewport. With the first model open, you'll notice some objects are showing up in random colors. That happens when the layer names aren't recognized. As you probably know, your 3DM file layers need specific naming conventions for Excelsior to read them automatically. For example, take this petals layer, which holds the pear-shaped gems for this ring. First up, we need to assign it a material family, in this case, gemstone. And just like that, the default diamond material is applied. I highly recommend renaming any non-standard layers. Take rails, for example, which is the actual metal band. Let's rename it to Metal 02. Since Metal 01 is already taken. Then we just tag it to the metal family. There we go. Our file is set up and the materials are looking good. Let's quickly finish setting up the scene. It's as easy as going through the top menus and grabbing what we need. First, let's lay the ring flat. Next, let's tweak the materials. I'll start with the Gem 01 layer. You can use the visibility toggle to quickly check what's on this layer. It's these small accent stones. Let's throw a black diamond material on there to give it some nice contrast against the gold. Moving on to Gem 02, the small center stone. Let's make this one a ruby. Indian, ruby. Perfect. We'll leave the other diamonds alone, and for the metal, let's go with yellow gold. Make sure you don't mix up the family dropdown with the actual material selector. This is where you actually pick the material. All right, yellow gold is applied to our ring. Next, let's set up the lighting by picking an Ambience. I love using the sunlit ones. They always look amazing. Let's try this one, for example. Check out how good that looks. When working with GLB files, you'll usually want to turn on round edges to soften the geometry. Notice how it smooths everything out? Looks a lot better. All right. Our scene is good to go. Over in the Globals panel, let's set the resolution to Instagram square and adjust our video settings. Let's make it an 18-second clip and add some depth of field. Just enable depth of field and click right where you want the camera to focus. If I click the back, the front blurs out. Click the front and it snaps right back into focus. Now let's check the video preview. The rotation looks great. In the video options, I'll turn on boomerang, so it turns about 90 degrees and bounces back. Since it's not doing a full spin, we don't need it to be this slow. Let's switch to normal speed and preview it again. Now it just pans and reverses, which is perfect since we don't really need to show the back of the ring. Next, let's try out the new quick video mode. You'll notice the render times are insanely fast compared to standard mode. You sacrifice a tiny bit of quality, but for firing off a quick preview on WhatsApp or online, it's plenty good enough and way faster. Let's let this bake. It'll only take about 25 seconds, and boom, here's our video. Moving on to the next model. Just drag and drop the GLB, and again, we've got some random colors because of the naming. Take this branches layer, let's rename it to Metal 02 and assign the metal family. While we're here, let's just swap the material to 18 karat gold right away. Same thing for the wave layer. Set the family to metal and apply the 18 karat gold. That leaves us with Metal 01, so let's give it the exact same material. Now check out the center stone. It's labeled Main Stone. That's actually a great name, so we'll leave it alone and just assign it to the gemstone family. Let's wrap up this scene. Over in the Ambience panel, let's find something with a marble floor. This green marble looks awesome. There we go. Check out how stunning that looks. Next, in the Globals panel, let's scale it up a bit so it's larger. Looks fantastic. Let's dial in the depth of field again. Click to set the focal point and pull back the blur amount just a touch. Perfect. Over in the video panel, let's set the speed to slow and preview it to make sure everything works. Nice and centered. Looks great. Now let's fire up quick mode to render it out fast. Look at it fly. This will take just over 20 seconds. We can cancel it whenever, but you get the idea. All right, last model. Drag and drop. Right off the bat, more weird layer names, for example, Blocks holds all the small gems. You definitely want to rename this one. Let's call it Gem 02 and set it to Gemstone. There are our diamonds. Perfect. Next is Level, which I'll rename to Metal 02 and assign it the metal family. Let's just throw an 18 karat rose gold on it right away. For curves, we'll rename it to Metal 01 and tag it as metal as well. We'll use that exact same rose gold material. Here we go. Perfect. Now, notice the center gem is currently metal because it's just named Object. Let's switch the family to Gemstone and rename it. This model's edges are a bit sharp, so let's jump to the Globals panel and turn on round edges for a nice bevel. For the main stone, let's go with a blue sapphire. There we go. Finally, let's lay it down flat. Let's swap the lighting too. Grab one of the sunlit ambiances because they just look incredible. And from here, you just repeat the same steps we did on the other models to render out the video. One pro tip: don't forget to save your scene, either as a static WebEx file or an interactive one to save space. If we save it now, it downloads automatically, and we can just drag it back in. Notice how the material families don't prompt anymore because they're baked into the file. All right, that covers the basics. Here's a final look at our rendered videos. Go ahead and drop your own GLB files into Excelsior and see how easy it is to work with them. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.